Hello and welcome. This is Lagos Parliament and I am Abimbola Agbibi. Now, it's the season of primary elections in Nigeria, and in Lagos, the All Progressives Congress State House of Assembly elections was scheduled to hold on Thursday, the 26th day of May. Now, more than half of the members of the State House of Assembly were up for election as delegates decide who their candidates will be at the 2023 general elections. Now, recall that also earlier in the week, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, also had its primary elections. Now, let's take a quick look at the past State Assembly elections in Lagos.
That remain to do their part so that the consolidation.
In the last 2 decades, state assembly elections in Lagos have always been contests between two major political parties in the state. But the All Progressives Congress, APC, always clinches nearly 40 seats in the State House of Assembly polls. The past elections sometimes produced 2 or 3 members from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state legislature, only for them to defect to the ruling party later. Wumi Bewaji, a renowned legal practitioner based in Lagos, gave his assessment of past party primary elections in the state, as well as the dominance the APC has enjoyed in the past years.
What it means is that you are constituting yourself into that house.
He also applauded the state legislature for its sterling performance in its 23 years in the Fourth Republic.
For there to be peace and progress and prosperity, you need an executive branch that will be able to work in peace and harmony with the legislature. You do not need, wherever you have a legislature that is engaged in fighting and rancor with the executive, definitely it's impossible to have the kind of prosperity that we have had in Lagos State in these last 23 years. So, yes, you need an independent legislature to serve as a bulwark for democracy and as a check, to serve as checks and balances upon the excesses of the executive. But for you to be able to fund your projects, you know, the legislature has the budget. For you to fund your projects and all that, you need a legislature that will key into that. So I expect that the APC as a party has its programs and all that, which by the time elections are held, and then you have at least an overwhelming majority in the legislature, it allows for the executive to be able to carry out its programs without any hindrance. So it's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. So in this coming election, I expect the same thing to be replicated.
The APC holds its state assembly party primaries in the state. Wumi Bewaji urges delegates to be cautious in the choice of candidates.
I expect the exercise to go on smoothly because the APC as a party has been in power in Lagos State for the past 23 years, and now the APC now has a very strong structure, you know, and institutions, even, you know, institutions that are even outside that of the constitution of the party that could make for stability within the party and then allow the party to be able to conduct the primaries in a manner that will be rancor-free. So I expect the exercise to go on smoothly, to be free and fair.
As the lawmakers jostle for the party's tickets to contest in the 2023 elections, Lukman Olumo, a member of the Lagos 8th Assembly, shares his thoughts in his level of preparation for the party primaries.
Well, a peaceful one, a rancor-free election, an election that will tell Nigerians that APC is ripe and mature to take Nigeria to the next level. A peaceful primary election, an election that will be devoid of rancor, where we expect the delegates to speak for every aspirant. For us, I think what we have done in our constituency in terms of representation to our people, bringing the dividend of democracy in terms of infrastructure, even stomach infrastructure, will tell for us, and I hope for the best.
The Lagos APC State Assembly primary election is coming days after the People's Democratic Party, PDP, held its own.
And that was the lawmaker representing Ajeromi Felodu Constituency 1 in the state parliament, talking about preparations ahead of the party primaries. Now, away from election matters, lawmaker representing Ikeja Constituency 1 in the state parliament recently launched its constituency project intervention, which comprises Information Communication Technology Hub and Skill Acquisition Center, which is part of efforts targeted at empowering indigents in its community. Let's take a look at this report.
Lawmaking is only one of the things that we're expected to do, but core representation, which is giving back to the people what the people give to you, and this is all about representation. And what has mandated this is because if you look at the composition, we have about 60% youth involved in this. So you need to look for projects within different wards and different constituencies that are lacking, and then that's what you put in the constituencies. I'm very happy and very honored that they have made those comments. At the moment, we're still seeking consultation from all the leadership, and I am hopeful to return by the grace of God. Well, so we've been working with private individuals and private companies who will be the facility managers for these particular places. And thankfully, you've heard the likes of a Platform Capital who have been able to inject some funds which would engage it over a period of time. So yes, private facilities, private facility management firms have been engaged for both the sewing center, the football pitch, and the ICT hubs. Well, I think we need to start to inculcate a maintenance culture in us. And with the private sector involved in this, it's easier for them to imbibe that sort of culture with them. So to the constituents out there, I just want to kindly implore that we respect the infrastructure and make the best use of us, because sustainability is very key in all we do.
Facility with those caliber of high-power, sophisticated, modern machines for their training. And I must not also forget to mention the fact that he has also engaged partners who also spoke and made commitments, from the Ikeja Electric Distribution Company to Platform Capital, Viva Furniture, who also made pledges and promised to partner. It shows he has used his office to also bring some support to the constituents. Again, what do I say? I will also say, Jimmy, well done.
Actually, I know Mr. Jimmy, 4 years ago, Always I see this guy carrying Lagos on his shoulder and run, Always his mind is occupied with the society, with the community. This guy is fascinating guy. This guy, always care about the people, caring about how to support people. 75% of our conversation, is about the community, about the Nigerian community, about the society. So I like this guy, and I like the way that he loves his people.
Obasa 07. Obasa 08.
And as the All Progressives Congress holds its state assembly primary elections in Lagos, the Speaker of the House, Mudashiru Obasa, has emerged the candidate of the All Progressives Congress in Agege Constituency 1. Obasa polled 25 votes to emerge winner, following the withdrawal of another aspirant. Dada Olusegun was absent at the primary election. Speaking with TVC News, Obasa dedicated his victory to the people, thanking them for their support. The exercise was described by the State Assembly Elections Monitoring Team as a peaceful one. Meanwhile, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Ajayi Obas, has commended lawmaker representing Mushi Constituency for his contribution towards the development of grassroots football competition in his community.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's ready. And the camera is ready. I'll be doing it. A round of applause for our speaker, please.
In a fun and relaxing atmosphere, the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly joined Nureni Akinsoya, lawmaker representing Mushi Constituency in the State Parliament, as he held his first football competition. The sporting event which took place in this community was part of Akinsoya's initiatives targeted at fostering a cordial relationship between the youths and their representative. The soccer tournament held between youth across the world in his constituency, each ward slogging it out with each other. As a tool used in promoting unity in his constituency, the lawmaker says the initiative was part of his contribution towards the development of sport and talent in his constituency. The football match ended and winners rewarded.
The match was very sweet. I love the match because they focus on me. So that's why the ball be like that. They focus on me. This is the first time of the competition. I love it like that. It's very interesting. The second one will be more interesting than this one. I was very happy to score the penalty because the keeper was doing all these things to fear me.
In the area of infrastructure and provision of social amenities, commendations pour in for the lawmaker.
You know, I believe people talk about Mushi. Just to show the whole world that Mushi, we are very, very good. This is new Mushi. We are Mushaina, not former Mushi. So our people, my constituency, we have everybody, we have lawyer, we have doctor, we have everybody doing good here. So we don't believe in, they are not ruffians. Just to erase the bad name given to them. The winner that emerged, I just want them to continue because with them we can get to discover the talents, that they can see them, that they are good, they can play very well, and they should keep it up. They should not stop here. And I make promise to them that I'm going to continue. It's not one thing, one-stop thing. We are going to continue it.
For Nureni Akinsoya's service to humanity remains the greatest achievement. Residents of Ekpe Constituency 2 have given the lawmaker in the area a pass mark for the work done in the community. Community heads, residents of Ekpe attesting to the development recorded in the area in the last 3 years. From education to environment and to rehabilitation of roads, among others, the people of Ikosi-Ejiri and Eredu local government areas talked about the impacts made by their representative in the state parliament. Honorable Sylvester Ogunkelu, lawmaker representing Ekpe Constituency 2 in the state parliament, assumed office in 2019. His foray into politics showed a track record of a politician who is determined to make positive impact on the lives of the people he serves.
Before the general election in 2019, we all have a kind of manifesto that we have before coming to the general election, which I promised my people that before 3 years in office, I will empower some of my followers, and that is what I'm giving back to them now. And this empowerment that you are just saying is something that I must bring back to my constituency, because most of them that we are giving this empowerment is not just people that will go and sell it. We are giving the people that needed it most.
His love for the vulnerable in the society was recently shown at an empowerment outreach organized for both young and old in his constituency.
The role of a legislator has been redefined. It is no longer, the issue of welfare of the people, provision of infrastructure facilities, and empowerment of the people. Addressing issue of poverty has become a collective responsibility. He has represented his people well and is representing them, and we hope that he will continue to represent them.
Honorable Ugukelu Sibesa, AKS Ketel, has done today is laudable, is commendable, and is praiseworthy. So we must continue to eulogize him for that.
Various empowerment items were distributed according to the needs of the people. The beneficiaries could not hold back their joy.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's what I would say. One my lorry, one my body. One is shisha.
Most of the times we're jam-packed in a class and there's sweat, heat, and we're not comfortable, but all thanks to Honorable Skete for improving it. And now I can say that there's enough of funds provided in the class and also light. And I just want to say thank you to Honorable Skete.
I want to say a big thanks to him for a big appreciation for what he has done. As in, it has really helped us a lot, and I pray God should bless him abundantly.
Ekpe has become more popular in recent times owing to massive developmental projects that have dotted its landscape. Aside rehabilitation of roads, the lawmakers also sunk boreholes in many streets in the community to put a stop to the endless search for water in the area.
Honestly, I think this is the greatest thing that has happened to this community. This is an individual that really knows the society he comes from. He has demonstrated this by absolutely improving the lives of the people in this community. There's a secondary school there. 3 years ago, it was a dead end. Today, it looks more like a private school. This dual carriage here was not completed until he facilitated the completion of this dual carriage so that it can join the Ogun State end. And today, the entire state is enjoying this. Towards Ekpe, you have this Itaman junction which he equally facilitated. He gave JAMB to students, GC to students, and we have about 3 or 4 students that are enjoying scholarship abroad as I'm talking to you now. And I'm proud to tell you that my son is one of them. Why wouldn't I be happy?
For Sylvester, service to humanity is the greatest achievement.
Ogukene has been a fantastic representative, honorable member of the State House of Assembly. What he has done so far, none of the people who has earlier occupied that position has ever done that. He has given abroad a scholarship for the indigent of Eredo to travel abroad to study their choice courses. He has bought a lot of JAMB forms for those who want to go to the university who cannot afford it. He has developed his constituency.
Go to his constituency, you see a lot of people coming in the bar, hey, sector, everywhere. It's somebody that's give out, somebody that is so playful, play with people, you feel at home everywhere.
Describing Honorable Sylvester Ogukelu has to come with different of definitions. He's a man of his people. He's a man that has a larger heart. He's a man that loves his people, and of course his people love him so much. He's a man that do his job not just diligently but passionately. He's passionate about the development of Ekpe North. He's passionately about the development of Ekpe constituency too.
He's a friend, he's a brother, he's an actualizer, friend of the people, both old and young ones. Everybody loves him. Anywhere he goes, you hear people shouting, Skete, Ekpe tu, Ekpe tu. So everybody in the constituency, they are agitating for his coming back for second time. And I pray to God Almighty Allah to be with him, let him lead him and be with him so that he can come back for second time. He has been a wonderful person. He gives to the people.
To the royal father in Poka community, Ilufemiloye 1, Alade Uraka of Poka land, Sylvester Ogunkelu has no doubt contributed immensely towards the progress of the communities.
Honorable Ogunkelu, popularly known as Kete, is a nice young man. He's good. He has contributed to the progress of the community on schools, on borehole.
For Sylvester, service to humanity is the greatest achievement. And that's it on Lagos Parliament this week. We thank you for watching. Do send us feedback to Lagos Parliament at tvcnews.tv. I am Abimbola Agbebi. Goodbye.